Guys, I really miss Portal. Well, I miss Aperture Science. I miss exploring an abandoned laboratory with weird science experiments and kind of a dry, dark humor, and then digging down deeper into these old laboratories that were built through the 50s. And you get to see all these different eras of technology and vintage stuff mixed with crazy sci-fi. I miss it so much. And there's probably no way Valve is going to make another Portal game. So, if you're looking to revisit the feeling of wandering around an old school laboratory that has since been abandoned, Small Radio's Big Televisions has what you need. The game, at first glance, seems simple enough. You explore these old laboratories and factories, and you pick up clues as you try to find ways to unlock doors. But on the way, you find these cassette tapes that you immediately put into your tape player, and then whoa, man, look at all this nature. Holy crap, it's nature time. That's right, each one of these tapes has a new destination. You don't get to walk around or anything. It's more like you're inside a snow globe circling around on a rail. And then you look for these green thingies, and once you get back to the 2D world, they'll help you unlock doors. If Small Radio's Big Televisions was only about 2D door opening, it wouldn't have felt like a complete game. I think the addition of weird polygon scenery keeps the gameplay from feeling one note. Actually, I was totally convinced this game was made for VR. The controls feel sticky, like you're supposed to be physically looking around the environments instead of using the mouse. Not to mention the device that you're seeing these trippy things on is a headset, so it just makes sense that it would be VR. Strangely enough, this doesn't work in VR, despite the comments on Steam asking that it does for just that. It makes me wonder if the original idea was for VR and they just didn't have the resources. Or maybe it just never even dawned on them. Okay, but still, even though you can enjoy this in glorious VR, the game still manages to be a trippy experience. Each nature world you're supposed to look for one of these green shiny thingies, and if you can't find them, then you throw the tapes on some magnets and try it again. And yeah, what you get is pretty spooky. The game goes from a happy trip to a dark one, and I love how distorted and weird these visions get. I also like how they didn't stick to the same factory for the whole game. You get to check out a couple different set pieces, and they all have their own creepy theming. The story itself is only ankle deep, and if 2D exploration can't make you feel immersed, this game may not be for you. But the simplicity of it didn't really bother me, since the world felt very lived in. There's writing on the wall, there's papers thrown around the ground, there's all these different things that makes it feel like someone was actually in this laboratory. It made me feel like I was visiting a sister company to Aperture Science, actually. And the small act of opening doors and looking for new tapes made me feel like I was uncovering old stories and snooping around where I wasn't supposed to be. Not to mention, I am a total sucker for retro sci-fi. If you take old school technology and you get it to do something new and cool, that is so my jam. Just the concept of a VR visor that is wired into a cassette player where the tape takes you away to some polygon beautiful nature is a really unique idea. And it doesn't take a genius to see this game isn't just about experiencing worlds, it's about losing yourself in places that aren't real. I think the title, Small Radio's Big Televisions, is actually a reference to the history of entertainment. Radios get smaller and more portable, televisions get bigger and more important in the household. And now with our developing technology, VR and video games are a nice escape after a hard day's work. The game itself actually has a couple things to say about escapism that I'm not going to spoil here. But I will say, the good news, it doesn't feel like your mom turning off the TV and telling you to go play outside.